one of the big topics since last week's episode was the number of WSOP bracelet events. How many should there be? Phil Hellmuth let slip, I guess, a secret that was that they're considering, the WSOP is considering capping the total number of bracelets at 100 per year, and basically slashing Vegas in half. So 50 during the summer and 50 otherwise, I guess, is the thinking. Whereas Negreanu came in and said there should be more like 150 per year. And I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts, Mike, especially with you, right? Because we've got the WSOP during the summer, we've got WSOP Paradise, we got WSOP Europe, we got online bracelet events. What do you think would be the best number?
Well, first of all, I'd say the ship has kind of sailed as far as like, let's rein back the bracelets now. It's like, oh, now you want to do it, huh? And after Pennsylvania got okay, just making sure. Yeah, I don't know what the perfect number is, right? Like, I would have said that 100 was good before, but now that you've already expanded that much, it's kind of like a weird thing. And I mean, if I'm Negreanu or if I'm Hellmuth especially, I'm like, yeah, dude, I think there should be 12 bracelets a year, actually. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep my record. So I do agree that the bracelets have lost their prestige. However, and I've said this before, if you look at the amount of entrants in early WSOPs that Hellmuth is winning, and you look at the amount of entrants now and extrapolate that with how many bracelets there were then, it's still harder to win a bracelet now than it was then. Now, you can go bracelet hunting, you can go to Europe, and you can do this and that, and they should shave off some of the fat. I mean, like some of those, like they're changing WSOP Europe, but I think Razvedov is not that great. I think having niche online bracelets in areas where you get 40, 50, 60 runners is not great. But I don't know. WSOP as a brand has shown that the bracelet has lost some of its prestige, unfortunately. And I don't know if they can gain that back by making 100 events. And cutting it Vegas to 50 events, I mean, what a disastrous mistake that would be as far as income, right? Like, wouldn't they want to wouldn't they want to add more bracelet events?
Yeah, I mean, to give you some perspective, there were 245 bracelets handed out in 2024, 234 the year before that. And if you go back to like 2018, only 89 bracelets were awarded back then. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them. I do like GG, now that they own the WSOP, are taking a look at this, because I do think it needs to be reined back in, even though if, the toothpaste is out of the tube, if you will. But it is important to the brand to keep them prestigious. Connor, I'll ask you in a minute what your thoughts are. I'll share mine real quick. I think, as I've long advocated, there should just be a differentiation between online bracelets and real bracelets, real in-person live bracelets. And in my mind, I would like to see maybe 100 online every year, but with that differentiation, and then 100 live throughout the year. Maybe say 75 of them are given out during the summer, and then the other 25 split between WSOP Paradise, WSOP Europe, or something else that they may do. That's something that I think would be great. I do think Negreanu makes a good point, though, that if you cut out bracelets, the ones that are likely to go are going to be some of the mixed games that a lot of people do enjoy playing during the WSOP. So it is a weird thing. Like, you have to ask, if they do cut back, what exactly would they cut out? Connor, what are your thoughts?
I agree with both of you. And I do also kind of agree generally that, yeah, bracelets are getting a little diluted and they need to do something. But kind of like both of you said, like Mike said, if you look at the actual numbers and how many runners these events get, it's actually more difficult to win a bracelet, not easier. So that's kind of just like a perception bias I get that people need to get past. And also, like you said, Chad, one of the first things to go would be these mixed game events. And those are actually becoming more popular than ever. While we're filming this, I'm live reporting the Chainsaw mixed game event. We've got Robbie Straczynski's mixed game festival going at Resorts World. And just the last couple of years, they've launched like Big O events, double board bomb pot events, things like that. And if you want to, I think those are good for growing the game. I think those are fun games. I think those are going to get, different sorts of players in the field who maybe wouldn't play the WSOP. And if you want to keep adding events like that, you kind of have to, compensate that with having more bracelets. But I don't know, definitely not an easy solution. Probably if I had any solution, it's just address the regional small field events in places like Pennsylvania, Michigan, maybe until there's a shared pool.
Well, there is a shared pool now, yeah. But before there wasn't one.
You're right, yeah. So Pennsylvania just joined. So are there any isolated markets now?
I think Quebec or something like that, right? Ontario.
So places like that.
there is rumors that they might join the rest of the world here soon. There's been some positive developments there, as our Ontario ambassador Kyle Anderson has reported on. It still might be a ways off, but it sounded like some legislation was passed that Ontario could very well join the worldwide pool, if you will.
But then they would just have WSOP.com. It's WSOP.com out there, right, in Ontario? I don't really know how it works, as I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not a
I think
Canuck.
I think it's powered by GG still, even though.
So they would just migrate to GG, basically.
Yeah,
Easy
that would
peasy.
be my assumption.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that makes complete sense. I think the high roller events would be the first to go, especially in the American markets, because the big, beautiful bill that has made it to the poker tournaments are looking pretty sketchy, you know?
Yeah, that never got addressed. I think we all thought that would get repealed one way or another. It wasn't popular, and still there. I read one thing, I think, on Twitter. There was like they think they're going to get it done. That somebody had a positive outlook on it that it would, cool.
We'd figure it out before the tax year of 2026. But I don't know. It seems very sketchy, and if it continues, obviously it's going to be really bad. But that's neither here nor there.